And everybody, welcome to Daily Predictions, your news before news. I'm your host, Araya Eden. Gubla One means good, blessed, and wonderful. I'm going to tell you what you can expect over the next 1 to 3 days or 4 in the world. Energy comes in subtly, but it doesn't go out right away. So what I read is energy. So I have this hot list, right? And on my hot list, I'm having words that are associated with Joby, not job, but job is a word too, but Joby. Okay. I might be saying his name wrong, but the Tigers, Jackson Joby, and then also Joby Billingham, Frank Joby, Brant Joby. You get the gist. We'll hear something about a Joby over the next 1 to 3 days or so. I'm also picking up on things that's having to do with people feeling like they are distracted, that they're numb, that they're deprived, okay, over the next 1 to 3 days or 4. I'm also seeing that it's not going to be all bad. There's a lot of business energy coming in. I'm seeing hope. So there's going to be hope for a lot of people. They're going to get that turnaround that they're needing. We're going to see over the next 1 to 3 days some progress in some of the issues that we've been having. It could progress either way, though. Okay, that pendulum can swing either way at this time. Okay, but it's something that is long awaited, and it's been long needing to happen. So whatever that situation is, I'm not certain just yet. I have to tie all of this together, but very ambitious energy. I see plans been put into motion for quite some while. So we're going to see new startups. Things are going to be adjusted over the next 1 to 3 days. There's going to be adjustments taking place. Really challenging energy coming in as well. So that we're going to see over the news over the next 1 or 3 days. But I really see that it could be something coming up about the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Here, I see wants and needs. Some of these wants and needs are going to be filled. Some of them are going to be left wanting. But this is what we're going to see highlighted in the news over the next 1 to 3 days or 4. Also, I'm picking up on a lot of parties and drinking. Yes, it's the Friday, but we're going to hear news about parties and drinking. Okay, so things can go left. So news like about beer in particular. I'm seeing an association with beer. There could be a beer business that's going under, or a beer business, something that the researchers have found about drinking beer. Like how they said that beer and the beer belly has something to do with the way people sleep. Okay. So they've already found some of the correlations between those two things. But I'm also picking up on BP. So we might hear something about BP, oil or stock or something along those lines, and jobs. Over the next 1 to 3 days, there's going to be issues highlighted about jobs, news about jobs, bills introduced that's going to affect jobs, or government movements having to do pertaining to jobs. So employment, this would be a good time for many to apply for applications and jobs and resumes and such, that type of thing, because I'm literally seeing employment issues coming up in the news. And although we might see this all the time, when I see it in the energy, it gives it that extra boost. So it's abnormal things tend to happen. Okay. So this could be someone getting drunk, going to work because they done had a whole bunch of beer, and now they go to work and they start causing drama at work while they're drunk, like literally being drunk. I mean, this is stuff that could happen because they didn't get what they thought they were supposed to get at pay. We see it happen all the time at Walmart, or people, you see that video when people be quitting their job on the intercom. So we're going to see some abnormal stuff happen with the business. We're going to also see things about new assignments, okay, increasing and decreasing positions. So people being put in position and people being taken from the position. A lot of conglomerate moves when it comes down to big business. I'm getting a lot of big business energy coming in here. So new appointments and placements and stuff like that coming in over the next 1 or 3 days. Very work related energy. Also stocks. I see a lot of stock market activity over the next 1 to 3 days or 4. I see a lot of buying and selling of stocks here. Okay. Now, cricket energy is going to be something that we're going to witness over the next 1 to 3 days as well, and we're going to see this on the news that we're going to see cheats and betrayal. You remember I've been telling you like over the last few days that there's been this scandalous activity of brewing and somebody set themselves up, possibly even to be blackmailed. Someone I feel like in higher status, because I feel like this is going to be a big thing, that has been cheating on their wife or has been cheating on their husband, and baby, them receipts are going to be put out there. Okay, we're going to find out about this. It is a brewing. Okay, I get cheaters and betraying. Okay, so there's a lot of cheat and betrayal energy here. But these cheats can also be crooks that are actually, like I said, cooking books or doing something underhanded, greedy for gain type of energy here, not paying attention to those who are less fortunate here. Okay, so they end up turning a public office for private advantage. All right, so we're going to keep seeing that. And some of you already know what that's got to deal with. Stab energy over the next 1 to 3 days or so as well. So this means that, a lot of stab victims with knives, crimes dealing with knives and appliances and stuff like that coming in, because it's impulsive energy and people are using what they have in their vicinity. They don't plan to do these things. So I don't think that a lot of it is not premeditated, but I am seeing like people doing things that are going to transition some people over. I'm also seeing over the next 1 to 3 days, a lot having to do with production, because we're having work energy, repairs, things, adjustments, that type of things. Specifically when it comes down, I feel like to mechanics and automotive and in industrial work. Okay, so we'll start seeing more about industrial energies and companies here. Someone by the name of Joe is also on my hot list. So it could be Joe, but Joe is on my hot list. So we might hear something about a Joe. This could be Mr. Former President Joe Biden. Okay, but Joe is coming up. So the news will hear something about Joe trending over the next 1 to 3 days here. Coffee might be an issue, so we might see about coffee shortage, Starbucks, something coffee being affected here over the next 1 to 3 days, because I see disapproval, displeasure, disgust. Okay, disgust. Somebody finds something or sees something that they get disgusted by over the next 1 to 3 days. So disgusting actions. Okay, I told you about someone being disgusting and basically being careless. And I'm going to say less, but I see it. Okay, also something coming up possibly about antiques and watches. Maybe an expensive watch gets lost. But I'm seeing something about a watch. Okay, people might be like trying to steal people's watches. I watched this movie last night, and the guy, he was so naive to a certain extent that he wasn't paying attention to the fact that he was in the presence of a bunch of thieves. So this is about you paying attention and being aware of your surroundings over the next 1 to 3 days, because you might just be in the presence of a thief, a hacker, a crook of some sort. Okay, that might be trying to steal your watch, but the watch nonetheless could have something to do with fashion, the fashion industry, a new watch being introduced. This could be a new Apple Watch, but nonetheless, we're going to see something about watches. Okay. We're going to see excuses being made. Someone's going to do something and be caught doing it, or they're going to make excuses as to why things have not gotten done, why things are not working out the way that they should not be working. We're going to be seeing excuses. They're going to be giving people the runaround. So over the next 1 to 3 days, if things don't work out the way that you planned them out, that's because we're entering a new moon phase, and it's going to be a time to where adjustments are going to need to be made. Okay, so that's what's happening here over the next 1 to 3 days or 4. Okay, but I'm also picking up on something about an operations base. We'll hear something about an operations base. I told you yesterday or the day before about the immigrants, their housing and stuff like that. The bad housing. This energy is still here. So we'll still hear more about these traps that's being set up for immigrants. And, we'll see immigrants before they have actually been processed. I'm seeing here on the news over the next 1 to 3 days or 4. I also see here a lot having to do with clothes and appearance. So I still pick up on the something coming in about the fashion industry, as well as someone. We might see something in the news trending about, someone being obsessive when it comes down to their attire. This could be excessive fidgeting with their suits or their dress, but we'll see this play out in the news here. And it might be something like, say, for instance, somebody doing that at court, and they're like, look, see, they're nervous about something. They must have did something. Okay. But nonetheless, I'm seeing trendy outfits, trendy fashion, glamour. This energy is going to pick up over the next 1 to 3 days or 4. Okay, so the fashion industry is going to be highlighted. So burns, an increase in burn victims. So hospitals, be prepared. Make sure you're well stocked to handle this, because I see an increase of burns with cooking incidents, hot plates, this type of thing here. So if you're working with hot plates or something that fire, anything hot that has to deal with heat, you want to, prepare with caution. Okay. If you're working with machines that, typically, cuts things and stuff like that, work with caution. Okay. Because, I'm getting, also freak accidents, like people's legs being cut off, that type of thing, their limbs being cut off, that type of thing. Okay. So people being thrown off of things, like thrown off of things. I'm just saying things being thrown off of things. So you want to be careful with that as well. Now, when it comes down to driving, I picked up wreckage here, and I saw something like bouncing or leaping off of one area, out of one area and going into the next. So we're going to see an increase in accidents to where cars maybe leap off of a bridge, or uh, a car gets in a wreck, and especially today, it gets in a wreck and it leaps from one lane to the next lane, on ongoing traffic. That's the type of energy that I'm picking up. People probably trying to leap off of bridges. I'm just seeing things bouncing and leaping. Okay, bouncing and leaping. That's my hot word. Also, I'm also seeing meteorites coming in, as well as a lot of, supernatural activity as well coming in over the next 1 to 3 days or 4. So we're going to hear about that, in the news, or, by word of mouth or so. Okay. A lot of dance activity. So there must be some kind of big event coming up, because I see a party, and I'm seeing lots of parties, but nonetheless, this party specifically is going to be the talk of the town, so to speak. All right. I'm also seeing people taking vacations. I'm seeing trip. Trip is a hot word. So they could trip, like trip as in they fall over, or they can trip as in take a trip, a lot of travel. So things coming in about traveling, picking up. Okay. And I see like people, it's fast paced. It's a rush, it's go, it's dash, it's like rushed energy here. So they could have something to do with like a Dash Pass, DoorDash. Might see something coming about that DoorDash. Something about something quick. Okay, is what I'm seeing. Like passes, like you get passes to go places. Maybe there's a discount on a pass or something. Okay, but I definitely see gatherings and functions. Okay, so if you're going to these gatherings and functions, try not to get too intoxicated, because I see a lot of intoxication and drug activity. Okay, but try not to get too intoxicated, because I'm picking up some violent activity to where people end up getting into it at these events, and they end up getting into it, and things get out of hand and people explode. Okay, literally what I'm picking up on. Vietnamese cuisine coming in. And rejection. Okay, people expressing rejection. So we're going to see some bills. We're going to hear about some bills being rejected over the next 1 to 3 days or 4. Okay, we're going to hear more about fights. All right, this is what I was talking about at this event. I see somebody getting punched in the face. I see somebody get punched. I'm seeing blows, that type of thing. I'm seeing the enemy. Okay, enemy, like literally a foe. They not a friend, they a foe. Enemy, adversary, opponent, rival, combatant, competitor, opposer, hostile party. All right. Remember, I had that setup energy. So if you feel like somebody don't have your best interests at heart, you might not want to be around these people. Okay. Because it could be that husband and the wife, where that wife and that husband, they cheated, and now they trying to set the wife up, okay, because they called her a gardening tool, okay, and so yeah, but I'm seeing here like that type of energy coming in, gardening tools, tills, plows, digs, oats, okay, eating, that type of thing. So when it comes down to it, I see a lot of like farming and gardening activity happening over the next 1 to 3 days or 4. So we're going to hear more about agricultural. I told you, anything industrial, and agriculture has a lot to do with the industry side of things as well. Very sexual energy here, as well as it was yesterday. I'm picking up on escorts, prostitutes. So we'll hear things coming in about stings, and them officers setting up traps. You see, I told you it's like traps. Remember yesterday I said a net is a trap. So I see traps being set up for people here. Just make sure you don't be one of those that fall into that trap. Okay. Because I see a lot of officers about here in this energy. Okay, as the focus now over the next 1 to 3 days is going to be centered around quality. Okay. Quality. All right. And so, we'll hear more about speeches and speeches and injuries, and some people come into agreement, some not. We're going to hear something about the homeless over the next 1 to 3 days, or some kind of beggar, some are begging and pleading for something to happen, begging and pleading for something to happen. I see, and I still pick up on the energy of the iron. Okay, this could be iron associated with the meteorite that's coming, but I am picking up on a meteorite over the next 3 to 4 days or so. So I'm anything with devices and mechanisms, and as well as further education. Okay. Further education systems, still remaining talk about that over the next 1 to 3 to 4 days or so. Okay. Masculine energy. I'm also seeing something about gas. Gas. You smell gas. 11:11 on my clock. You smell gas. Gas comes in, or something like that. Something about gas. You want to be cautious about that, because I'm getting gas and explosion. So, and then I told you I'm getting industrial energy. So there's going to be high explosive energy. I'm seeing high explosives, literally over the next 1 to 3 days or 4. I see more about like surprise, admiration, and triumph, but that's related to the trumpet. Okay. Here I feel like it's going to be surprising. Here, the energy that the trumpet gets. I'm seeing here relationships coming in as well. We'll hear more about that, as I talked about before. Made by. Okay, made in the USA. Okay, we're gonna hear more about, where things are being made, why they're being made there. Something along that lines coming up in the news over the next 1 to 3 days. They said, I told you that I saw something about something naming, like a naming ceremony, something coming up about names. Well, what ended up happening is they said for the real ID, women are having trouble with getting the real ID because they hadn't changed their last name after they got married, or they something having to do with their names after marriage here, or possibly even after divorce. But women are having issues getting their real ID. Okay, because it boils down to identification. So I told you there's going to be mass transitions into the spirit. Bills. I see bill of exchange, education, engineering. Okay, bill of exchange. Like I said, bills are going to be signed. Money in the energy as it was yesterday. So we'll hear more about greed and money. Okay. Friends that suddenly surprise someone. So I'm seeing surprise birthday party. A surprise birthday party is going to come up here. Somebody's going to get a surprise birthday party. More on women's issues, more on surgical operations. We're going to see radio personalities and come to the forefront. Is what I'm saying. More about physical education. This could also be sex ed in the school system as well. But I'm seeing a lot of movement, a lot of fast pace, still military energy coming in with officers. Post office is highlighted. They used the post office for one of the stings when it came down for the immigration. So they might continue to set them traps like that. So I also see quality checks. Well, I love you, friend. Google one. Hearts go out. You get a heart. You get a heart. You get a heart. Hearts go out. Be safe. Bye.